Hello, my name is Lance Kapanoske, and this is my final assignment for Introduction to Law Enforcement. This is the content I will be reviewing for my presentation today. First, Chapter 3, I will be focusing on education and policing. Second, Chapter 4, I will be focusing on the fitness test. Third, Chapter 6, I will be focusing on the legalistic style policing. Fourth, Chapter 11, I'll be focusing on the importance of cameras. Fifth, Chapter 13, I'll be focusing on drones. Chapter 3, Education in Policing. Quote, departments that required a four-year college degree subsequently eased their hiring requirements and began accepting applicants with 2 years of college or 3 years of service in the military. Cox et al., 2019, page 61. Many law enforcement agencies across the United States have lowered their hiring requirements to accept applicants with a high school diploma or GED. One reason for this is due to the fact that becoming a law enforcement officer is not a desirable job as it was in the early 2000s post 9/11. This can be due to the recent civil unrest in our country. For example, the death of George Floyd in 2020 and ICE being deployed in major cities across the country, such as Los Angeles, Portland, Chicago, and New York. This made a lot of people across the nation to begin hating the police. In result, many prospective law enforcement officer candidates don't want to serve communities where people hate the work they will do. In addition, the pay, demanding work hours, and quality of life is not great in many agencies. Personal goals regarding education. I want to attend Louisiana State University of Alexandria to earn a Bachelor's of Science in Criminal Justice. I plan to start either in the summer or fall of 2026. In addition, I want to graduate by the end of 2028 or earlier. Having a traditional four-year degree can allow officers to earn a 4% plus or minus pay incentive. The average pay for a law enforcement officer in the state of Oregon is about $75,000 per year. With a 4% pay incentive, that can increase your yearly salary to $78,000. While it's not much per se, it does add up over time. Additionally, having a college degree is a prerequisite for promotions above sergeants in most agencies, and I eventually want to become the chief of police in my agency I will eventually work for. Chapter 4, Fitness Test. Physical agility test, quote, should be valid, reliable, and consistent and should accurately reflect the required duties of the police officer. Cox et al., 2019, page 84. Discrepancy arises as some agencies require officers to use their physical abilities more routinely than other agencies who might rarely use their physical fitness. Personally, I believe all law enforcement agencies across the nation should use military fitness tests when assessing prospective candidates. I find it interesting that, quote, agencies do not use physical fitness tests in the selection of supervisors. Cox et al., 2019, page 95. I believe it's important for all law enforcement officers and supervisors to get tested on their physical fitness every 12 calendar months, as the communities they serve want their officers to be in the best physical shape and condition. United States Air Force Fitness Test, Part 1. The United States Air Force has a standard physical fitness test for all service members based on a point system. All service members must receive 75 points or higher in cardiorespiratory fitness and muscular fitness. Ages and gender can reduce the scoring. For example, a male under 25 maximum push-ups in 1 minute is 67 or more. However, a male aged 45 to 49 maximum push-ups in 1 minute is 44 or more. A female under 25 maximum push-ups in 1 minute is 47 or more. However, a female aged 45 to 49 maximum push-ups in 1 minute is 37 or more. United States Air Force Fitness Test, Part 2. I will be reviewing the points allotted for each event. It is important to know that some events have minimum scores that must be met to receive points. For more information, please review the reference slide at the end of the presentation. For cardiorespiratory fitness category, the 2-mile run and the 20-meter hammer shuttles is between 29.5 and 50 points. The weight-height ratio is between 0 and 20 points. For the muscular fitness category, the 1-minute push-ups is between 0.8 and 15 points. The 2-minute hand release push-ups is between 7.5 and 15 points. The 1-minute sit-ups is between 2.3 and 15 points. And finally, the 2-minute cross-leg reverse crunch and forearm plank is between 7.5 and 15 points. It's important to note that all service members must receive at minimum 75 points or more to pass the physical fitness test. Career goals regarding fitness. In the near future, I will become a law enforcement officer. When that day comes, I want to keep my body in the best physical shape and condition, as the public expects all law enforcement officers to be in excellent condition to stop criminals who may run from you or fight you. For example, retired Portland Police Bureau Sergeant Jim Sims told me the following, quote, "Sometime throughout your police career, you will end up in a physical altercation with someone. When that happens, you must be ready to win." Additionally, Mr. Sims said, quote, "There are inmates who are currently locked up working out and talking amongst each other on ways they can beat the police and win." With all that in mind, it would be silly not to take physical fitness seriously in this line of work. Chapter 6. Legalistic Style Policing. Legalistic style policing encourages officers to, quote, "handle commonplace situations as if they were matters of law enforcement as opposed to order maintenance." Officers frequently issue traffic tickets, detain and arrest juveniles, and arrest for misdemeanors. Cox et al., 2019, page 141. One drawback of the legalistic style of policing is that it can remove the aspect of discretion in police work. Importance of legalistic style policing. One of the best ways to make sure people follow the law is by issuing tickets and making arrests. These actions show that breaking the law has real consequences. On the other hand, if laws aren't enforced, people may start to ignore them, which can lead to more violations and a less safe community at the end of the day. Chapter 11. The importance of cameras. Quote, "Cameras provide a more or less permanent record of events captured during police encounters. Should any of the parties involve alleged misconduct." Cox et al., 2019, page 285. If alleged misconduct arises from complaints, it is quite easy to rewatch video footage to know whether the officer is guilty or innocent of said misconduct. According to the United States Department of Justice, 47% of general-purpose law enforcement agencies had acquired body-worn cameras. For large police departments, that number is 80%. Career goals regarding cameras. I believe it's best to work for a law enforcement agency that uses body-worn cameras rather than one that does not. Body cameras help protect both officers and the public by providing transparency and accountability. They can also serve as evidence in investigations and help reduce complaints against officers. Because of these benefits, I think the Fraternal Order of Police should encourage Congress to pass a law requiring all law enforcement agencies, including federal ones, to use body-worn cameras. Having a nationwide standard would ensure consistency, improve trust in law enforcement, and make policing safer and more professional for everyone involved. Chapter 13. Drones. Quote, "Currently, police can freely perform surveillance with drones on any scale in public spaces without obtaining a warrant. Fourth Amendment protections largely fall away in the context of information freely exposed to the public." Cox et al., 2019, page 344. Basically, anyone, regardless of law enforcement affiliation, can fly a drone or aircraft above someone's property, as any space above someone's property is governed by the FAA. The only way to restrict flying is if there is a TFR, temporary flight restriction, or prohibited area in place. Career goals regarding drones. I am a licensed FAA Part 107 remote pilot. I want to take on a specialty role as a drone pilot after gaining experience as a patrol officer. For example, the Lake Oswego Police Department requires officers to have at least 3 years of patrol experience prior to moving into a specialty position. Additionally, I believe drones will soon replace the traditional role of a police helicopter because they're more economical in terms of fuel and operating costs. Drones are also continuing to become more advanced each year, making them an increasingly valuable asset in law enforcement. Thank you for listening to my presentation today.